I'm going to share with you the 6 exact steps photographers use to close $2,000 plus clients without ever feeling salesy or awkward. I've closed hundreds of deals on discovery calls, but I've also lost hundreds more, and that's exactly how I discovered what actually works. If you've ever lost a potential client because your sales process fizzled out, or if you dread pitching your pricing, this video will change everything for you. Step 1 is qualifying your leads early, and here's exactly how to do it. I can't tell you how many hours I've wasted on calls with people who are never going to pay my premium rates. I remember when I first started my photography business back in 2019, I was terrified of sales calls. I would spend hours preparing. My heart rate was racing before the call, and then I'd completely fall apart when it came time to talk about money. I would stumble through my pricing and awkwardly try and pivot when clients objected, and I would watch $5,000, $10,000 deals slip away. It was painful. But over the next few years, I was able to truly refine my sales process and make it work for introverts like myself. And to this day, I've generated multiple 6 figures from Pieta Productions alone. The first step here is qualifying your leads early, and this is critical and non-negotiable if you're trying to do high-ticket sales. Early in my business, I would just jump on a call with literally anyone who inquired or anyone who responded back to my outreach, only to discover that after 30 minutes, 45 minutes of conversation, that their budget was $500 for a job that should have cost $5,000. See, closing high-ticket photography deals doesn't start on the sales call. It starts before you ever hop on the call or enter the Zoom room. You need to pre-qualify every single lead, and there's a specific system to do this effectively. And you only really need one question. Here's exactly how. Add this one powerful qualification question to your contact form or to your email when booking the call. Mine is stupid simple, and here it goes. Our brand photography packages typically start at $2,000. Does this align with your budget? Now, a lot of photographers resist doing this because they're afraid they'll scare away potential clients. But here's what actually happens. The people who can't afford your rates will self-select out, and it's going to save both of you time. The people who can pay your rates will actually respect you more because you're being clear and upfront and professional from the very start. Now, this one question, it saved me hundreds of hours of unproductive calls. I have an inquiry form on my website, and this question is right there, and I only take calls for people that say yes to this question if they can actually afford my service. If they say no, I can either refer them somewhere else or even offer a scaled down option if I want to. But I'm no longer spending all of my most productive working hours on calls that go nowhere. But it gets better. For leads that actually pass this first filter, spend 5 to 10 minutes researching them online before booking the call. This is non-negotiable. You can go look at their website, their company size, how much revenue they're doing, their current images on their website, their overall brand positioning. And this quality of what they currently have, it's going to tell you a lot about how much they value professional photography. I check for things like how professional is their current website? Are they using stock photos, or do they have actual custom photography on their site? What's their social media presence like? How are their competitors presenting themselves visually? All of these indicators are really important in helping me understand if they're likely to invest in premium photography. When you only get on calls with well-matched leads, the entire dynamic shifts. You show up confident, not desperate for any business that you can get. You're able to ask better questions. You'll be able to provide more value and position yourself as the expert that you are. Now, this video is all about sales, not marketing. So if you're struggling to get leads in the first place, I recommend joining my free community where I have a masterclass that teaches you both how to reach out to clients and how to attract premium clients so you can book more calls. Join for free using that link in the description below. Okay, step 2. Lead with value in the sales call. Now let's talk about the actual sales call, the discovery call. The biggest mistake photographers make is immediately pitching themselves and their packages. And I see this all the time when someone joins Creative Biz Launch as a new member. The moment the call starts, they launch into their background, their style, their packages, and their prices. And this is completely backwards, and it's killing your close rate. Instead, you need to lead with value by focusing entirely on the client's goals, on them. I actually teach what I call the qualify, gap, offer framework. And this has completely transformed my own sales process. And it's what I teach to my Creative Biz Launch members. Here's exactly how it works. The first 5 to 10 minutes of your call should be entirely about the client. You're in information gathering mode. Start the call with client-focused questions about their vision, their goals, and challenges. Some of my go-to questions are, what made you decide to look for a photographer right now? This is going to reveal if this is a priority right now or later. What are you hoping these new visuals will help you achieve? This uncovers their true goals beyond just getting photos. What challenges have you had with photographers in the past? This one's good because it exposes pain points when they worked with other creatives that you can solve. If we were having this conversation a month from now, what would make you feel that this project was a huge success? This gets them to actually visualize the outcome. What's at stake if we don't get this right? This is going to reveal the true importance of the project. The key here is asking open-ended questions that can't be answered with a simple yes or a no. You want them talking for about 80% of this part of the call. Then after this, you have to practice something I call active listening. So this is more than just hearing their words. It's understanding the emotion and meaning behind them. So when a client tells me that they're struggling with inconsistent brand imagery, I respond with, so what I'm hearing is that your current visuals don't reflect the premium nature of your products, which is hurting sales. Is that right? So this shows I truly understand their pain point at a deeper level. I'm literally taking notes during this call on my laptop so I can reference their exact language later on. And I tell them that I'm taking notes and ask for permission at the start of the call, which sets me up for success towards the end of the call here. Now, this is an advanced sales move, but if you use their exact words when you present your solution later on, this can be incredibly powerful. I had a client, a supplement brand, that was frustrated that their website photos didn't convey the benefits of their product. Now, most photographers, they would immediately pitch great photos and their process. But by asking questions and truly listening, I discovered that her real issue was the lack of storytelling in their current website photos. So their problem wasn't just needing better photos, it was needing to tell a visual story with their products. And that insight, it completely changed how I positioned my services to her during the pitch. Instead of just selling her a generic photography package, I presented a solution that specifically focused on capturing the benefits of each supplement. And guess what? This became a multi-five-figure client over the coming years that we worked together. The magic here happens when the client feels deeply understood. They essentially sell themselves on your service because they can see that you're not just another photographer with a camera. You're actually listening to their specific needs and their business challenges. Think about your own buying experiences here. When was the last time that you felt truly heard by a salesperson? It's really rare, but it immediately builds trust when it happens. Now, by spending this time up front and really truly understanding your clients, you're going to differentiate yourself from 99% of the competition who are just waiting for their turn to talk on the call. Okay, next up, step 3, present a tailored solution, not just a price. So at this point, you've qualified your lead and you've identified their challenges on that call. Now comes the most important part, presenting your solution in a way that feels completely customized to them. This is where most photographers drop the ball and it costs them thousands in lost revenue. High ticket clients don't want cookie cutter packages that look like everything else you offer and you offer the same thing to everyone. They want to feel that you've created something specific to them and truly unique. But this doesn't actually mean you need different services for each client. It just means you need to position your existing services in a way that directly addresses their specific challenges that they told you during the initial parts of the call. So here's where those notes you took in step 2 really come into play. Map each client struggle directly back to a component of your existing package or offer. This is literally the magic formula that's transformed my business. For example, if a client mentions struggling with using the photos on social media and their website for maximum impact, well, I would let them know that I include a 30-minute consultation at the end of every package to show them how to best use these assets. If they complained about slow turnaround times with previous photographers, I would emphasize that I have a 5-day delivery guarantee. I would say something like, you mentioned that quick turnarounds are a crucial part of your upcoming product launch. That's why my gold package includes guaranteed delivery of first proofs within 5 business days so you can start planning your marketing ASAP. Now, I had a client who was selling collagen powders and they were really frustrated that the previous creative that they worked with didn't showcase how easy their collagen was to use. So when I pitched them, I pitched a video showing how easily their product can dissolve in coffee. And I walked through my approach here and why I can deliver them what they're after. So here's the key insight that really transformed my business. If your packages are set up correctly, each problem that your clients mention should already be part of your solution. Your job is simply connecting those dots for them. That's the way I help Creative Biz Launch members design packages that sets them up for success during these calls. Every package has at least 10 components pre-designed that they can pitch during sales calls and map back to these problems. This is why having a well-designed offer is so crucial. Now, when you're presenting pricing, also never just state a number here because that is amateur hour. What you want to do is actually frame the price in the context of the value and the ROI they're going to receive. So saying something like, based on the problems and the quick turnaround time you mentioned needing for your website relaunch, I recommend our premium brand package at $4,800. This includes X, Y, and Z, and it's going to get you this benefit. Notice how this is a lot different from saying, my package is $2,000 and you get 15 photos. One presents a price for photos, the other presents a solution to a business problem. Now, if you don't have a clear package like this, my free community linked below has a masterclass that will teach you offer creation. Join today to get access to that training. Okay, moving on to step 4, overcoming objections with stories. Even if you follow the first 3 steps, you are still going to face objections. This is normal and it's expected. So it's actually a good sign because it means that the client is engaged with you and they're actually considering your offer and taking you seriously. But here's where most photographers go wrong. They try to overcome objections with logic and arguments, and they respond to, that's too expensive, with a detailed breakdown of their costs and their time that they spend on this, right? This approach almost always fails because it focuses on logic, and objections are rarely logical, they're emotional. The key is handling objections with stories, not logical arguments. Now, this single shift completely transformed my sales process. One of my Creative Biz Launch members was struggling with closing deals until we broke down his sales call funnel, his process, and he was doing everything right except handling the objections at the very end. So the fix that we implemented was relatively simple once we identified this on a coaching call, and I recommended that he put together a few different success stories or case studies that he could just reference when objections came up. So here's how to do it. Prepare 3 to 5 success stories that specifically address the most common objections you hear, like price, timeline, or uncertainty about results. And these stories, they should be true, right? They should be specific and they should highlight real outcomes. And stories are much more effective than arguing for a lot of reasons here. So first, they're going to help you overcome logical arguments by leading with emotion. Second, they provide social proof without being pushy. So you show that you've actually worked with clients and helped other clients in the past. Third, they will position you as helpful rather than defensive. And most importantly, they show real world proof that your services deliver the real results that your clients are after. So the key here to making all this work is to collect and document these success stories systematically. So after every successful project, I try and ask specific questions about the results my clients achieved. I keep these stories organized and top of mind so I can just pull these when the time is right. All right, moving on to step 5, create urgency authentically. Nothing kills a high ticket sale faster than fake urgency tactics. And I see this way too often. You know the ones, right? Like this offer expires in 24 hours, or I only have 1 spot left at this price. When everyone knows it's not the case, right? Clients can see through this. Those are manipulative tactics, and clients can see those from a mile away. And the worst thing is they destroy trust. So the reality is, without any urgency, deals are gonna stall. People are busy, other priorities come up, and your proposals are gonna sit in their inbox for weeks and weeks. So how can we actually create legitimate urgency without resorting to those like sleazy tactics, right? So the key here is authentic urgency. Giving clients a genuine reason to move forward that's based in reality, not made up scenarios. So this approach, it works because it builds trust and it encourages timely decisions here. And here are a couple ways that you can actually create authentic urgency. So first, you want to be transparent about your actual availability. So you can say something like, I typically can take on 6 brand shoots per month to ensure each client gets my full attention. I currently have 2 openings left that would work perfectly with your product launch schedule. After that, I'm not sure if I'd be available. So this works because it's true. You can limit your client load to maintain quality, and specific dates do fill up. This isn't fake scarcity. It's just how a business can operate. Now, secondly, if appropriate, mention any upcoming seasonal demand or any price increases that you do. You can say something like, just so you know, my rates are increasing on July 1st, but I'd honor your current pricing if we book before then. I raise my rates twice a year, and I always give my current prospects a heads up so they can lock in the best rate if they choose to. So there are dozens and dozens of more ways that you can do this, but to start, just pick a couple and be honest. Once I started being clear about my actual availability, I discovered that my clients really appreciated the clarity, and it helped them make decisions and plan accordingly here. Okay, so now step number 6, the final step, and this is probably the most overlooked one in this entire sales process. This is ending the call with clarity on what happens next. So many photographers, they have a great discovery call and they go nowhere because they botch this crucial final step. Have you ever had a call that went great and things seemed lined up and the client ended up ghosting you, even though they said, this sounds great? Then they disappeared, right? Your follow-ups would go unanswered. You'd get ghosted. I've been there many times. Here's exactly how to end your calls effectively. First, clearly outline your entire booking process. Say something like, if you decide to move forward, here's exactly what will happen. I'll send over a proposal and contract today. You'll review it, sign it electronically, and then complete the 50% deposit to secure your spot. After that, I'll send you the onboarding form and a planning guide to start prepping for your shoot. The key here is to map out the full journey so that clients can actually visualize the process. And this is going to eliminate uncertainty, which is often what will cause that hesitation in the first place. After this, the second thing you want to do is specify the exact next action and time frame. So we already mentioned the proposal, but you want to reiterate that. So I'll send the proposal within 24 hours. The proposal will be valid for 1 week, and then I'll need your decision by next Thursday to move forward. So by being specific, this feels a little uncomfortable at first, but it is incredibly effective. It creates a clear timeline for decisions without being pushy because you're simply explaining your process. This is great because this type of positioning elevates you from just a person with a camera to a professional photographer. And that justifies your premium rates and it creates confidence in your process. Okay, so step 1. Qualify your leads early. Step 2, lead with value on that sales call. 3, present a tailored solution, not just a price. 4, address objections with stories. 5, create urgency authentically. And 6, end with clear next steps. Now, when you follow this framework, selling becomes natural because it's about genuinely understanding the client's needs and offering solutions rather than being the Wolf of Wall Street here. So speaking of ending with clear next steps, if you want to take your photo business to the next level, join our free community in the description below. Get access to that free masterclass. We're almost at 1,000 members and I'm so excited to hit that milestone. For those who want the complete sales system, including word-for-word sales scripts, proposal templates, and my help on coaching calls, check out the Creative Biz Launch membership. If this video helped you, comment below which of these 6 steps you're going to implement first. My name is Pieta. Thank you so much for your time today. I'll see you in the next one.